Hi, welcome back to another episode of BS with Bella, and I'm with my boyfriend today,
What up?
Ryan B. Strobel, known as DJ Strobelites.
Burton Thomas.
Ryan is substituting for my brother this week because my brother did get sick, so we had to postpone. He's fine now, much better, but, we had to improvise for this week's episode. So, Ryan, welcome to the pod. I know it was on your bucket list to be on a podcast.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. It's so surreal. It all happens at once.
We'll talk about a little how we met.
Okay.
So I was a freshman and he was a sophomore.
Wait. Do you want me to introduce myself?
Oh, we'll do a little introduction on Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan, introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello. My name is Ryan Strobel. My full name is Ryan Burton Thomas Strobel. Fun fact, I have two middle names. I am currently a senior here at Coastal Carolina. I am pursuing a recreation and sport what?
You wanted a full introduction, didn't you?
Yes.
What major are you again?
What?
What major are you?
Oh, a recreation and sport management degree. Yeah.
There was Ryan's intro. So now we'll get into how we met so everyone has a little insight. We've been dating for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Almost 3 at this point. Wow. We put up with each other
crazy.
for a while.
That's actually wild.
How we met was pretty kind of not your average love story at all.
Yeah.
I was a freshman, he was a sophomore. Now he's using my little fake ID to get into this bar.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was at A10. A10.
it was at 810 Billards and Bullard.
Yeah. It's like a more of a casual bar, not like your usual where like you're standing up and like there's very loud music going on.
No, it's a very much sit down place with music.
Yeah, it has a lot of TVs to watch sports and stuff.
So this guy came up to me and he was like, "Oh, are you a freshman or a transfer? I haven't seen you around."
That's such a bad question to ask.
That was such a terrible pickup
Yeah.
line. You couldn't think of anything else. I go to him and I go, "I'm not your type. I'm way out of your league." And this man's like,
Well, you said that at.
"Oh, I said it again. We'll get back to that."
Yeah.
I said, "I'm out of your league." And he's like, What? And then we ended up going to an after and we ended up talking. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not your type." He's like, and then after that, he was like, I don't know why she was so mean to me, guys. Like,
Yeah, we were, so after we went to A10 that night, we had like, I guess there was like this little after party that we had, and we were like talking there, and she was being so mean to me. She kept saying how you were out of my league or whatever, and like, I don't know, you're just being so mean for no reason.
Mama raised me right. I know my expectations.
And I was so confused. I was like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just asking questions. But onward.
Onward. So yeah, that's our love story. It's so romantic, and everyone just thinks it's funny because like we're like two children dating, and we have the same personality. Everyone's like, I don't understand you two and your way of thinking, and I'm like, well, me and him are like two peas in a pod. Instead of opposites attract, it's the same brain attracts.
Yeah, for sure.
Rocky's here with us too, but you can't see him. He's being really good right now, so I'm just gonna
It's not true.
really just set that out there. I feel like we should do some pros and cons to make some people laugh about us.
Yeah.
Well, I saw it on TikTok, and he's like, I already gave it to you last night. I was like, can you say some pros and cons about me? He's like, I'm not gonna do it. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it on the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. The first con that I have about you is the way you text sometimes. Like when, I don't know, okay, so this is what you do, right? Or what she does. You make like these shortcuts in your head, like grammatically, where like in your head it makes sense, but like for anyone else it makes zero sense at all. So she'll be like, going store when? And then I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? She was like, oh yeah, when do you think I should go to the store? It's like, how the fuck would have known that's what you meant if it wasn't for me clarifying?
My grammar's not that good. Okay, guys, I may have spelled episode once wrong. That's like, you spelled episode. I'm like, it's already out. Yo. My con about you is your hangriness. You like need to chill the hell out. Like when we're at a restaurant, like wait, this mofo does not like to wait for restaurants to eat. Like, when he's hungry, he's like, hey, it's time. I'm hungry. Bella. I'm like, what's wrong? I'm like, he's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, Well, I can't help you. Like, there's nothing I could do. Like, but he gets so mean when he's angry. And then I'll have a bite of food. And he's fine. He's great. He's Mr. Perfect. But then it's your hangriness for me.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though,
And you're smiling over there because you know I'm right.
well, yeah, you're not completely wrong, but like to be fair though, it's like say like you're waiting for food for like I don't know, a half hour or like 20 minutes, like that's way too long to be waiting for food in my
Okay,
opinion.
your turn.
Okay. My next con about you.
Okay, we'll do cons first. We'll do 5 cons.
Five cons?
Okay, 4. I didn't.
We'll figure out how many cons I have about you. All right.
We'll figure out how many cons.
I'm trying to think right now. My next con about you is sometimes when like we're talking, you'll just like you'll like go into the distance and like you'll like completely zone out. Like I'll be telling you about like this really cool story that happened to me, and then like I'll be like, so like, what do you think about this? She's like, yeah. It's like, what? No, like that's not what I asked.
Sorry, sometimes when you talk about conspiracy theories or some smart,
Oh, that's a whole nother topic.
you talking about some smart stuff, I zone out. My con about you is this man. He farts a lot. This man, like I can't, like I cannot tell you which one farts more between him and my
I
dog.
can't control it.
Him and my dog. It's the smelly farts for me. Have to admit, just have to.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly like the first one being hangry. I can control that. The farts, that's just natural. That's natural, baby.
Heck's natural. That's just natural, baby.
Yeah. The next con I have about you.
Because I'm so perfect, you can't even think of a next con.
I'm trying to think.
He can't.
Oh no, I can. You're freaking driving when we're on the highway. Like anytime like okay, like you're not like that bad.
And
at
you
driving.
drive slow.
Okay, it's better to be safe than sorry.
You drive under the speed limit.
All right. So, like, no, for the most part, you're fine with driving. It's like, say we have to, like, take an exit, and it's like a large, like, circle, whatever you call it. You go so fast. And, like, I remember the first time, when I came and visited you in New Jersey, I think we went to like some food place or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were turning and like, I was like, babe, like, what are you doing? Like, relax. Like you need to relax. Like, it feels like the car's about to flip.
It's like fast and furious.
You were like kind of confused. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm driving fine.
My next con about you is maybe because we're just living together in one room and he's living out of bags, but this man like throws clothes like it's like the lottery with money. Wow. Everywhere. There's pants under my bed. There's one shoe here, one shoe there. I think us just living in a room and him living in a bag, I think that's my con about you, is that you just throw everything everywhere. And I'm such a clean freak, so I'm like picking up his crap this morning. I'm like, this kid can't even put his shoes down.
I was in the bathroom and that's when you were telling me about it. You were like,
I'm like, oh, so I texted him and he's like the decorative. I'm like, you know when you're in the bathroom you have like these decorative like towels
I've
and
never
they're not
I've
used.
never heard of decorative
and they're
towels
not
before.
used. They're not meant to be used. And I have towels in the back of my drawer. This kid uses the decorative towels.
All right, but like, who the hell uses I've never heard. I
know. People get me. I know people are understanding me right now.
No, I've never met someone that uses decorative towels.
Okay, let's go into pros about each other.
Pros
is Ryan is very, very nice to me and will do anything to make me smile.
Oh, thanks. I think the one pro that I have about you is that you're really
my dad's definitely watching this being like, don't be cringy.
Yeah. You're very understanding with stuff, like whenever I want to go and hang out with the boys or something. I feel like there's never really an issue when I go and hang out with the boys. So
a pro is this man is willing to this man will play his guard down when I don't want him to, and he treats me very, very well.
Okay. Let me think.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Another pro. I enjoy like the dumb conversations we have, just like every little conversation. Like I feel like even though there are times where you do go and zone out during
Sorry.
conversations,
Kind of
when we
zoned
do
you.
have conversations when you don't zone out, they seem really good, and I feel like if we just talk about every little thing.
Yeah, and I feel like we're gonna get into his internship a little bit because we did long distance. We're gonna have to next year. I felt like during a pro about us in general is that we're pretty good. Like we don't have issues like what other couples like I guess fight about. It's good to fight, but like I
Yeah,
just there's nothing really much we fight about.
yeah.
We'll fight like, when we're
It's
drunk
honestly over
and
like
we're
stupid
and we
stuff, like
fight. It's over who's ordering the Uber.
yeah, or food, or
Or
food.
food, or
Yeah,
food,
honestly,
or food,
yeah. I'd
food.
say like that's one thing that we probably fight about the most.
Ryan did his internship with the Pittsburg Penguins, and he like really did like game day operations. So like,
Hmm.
what was like an average life for you in the office? You could say.
Yeah, okay, so we'll go like what an average day is like in the office and then an average day during a game.
And this kid would text me and be like, "Yeah, I'm working from home today.
Yeah.
Working from home. Did they give you a laptop?
Yeah, so they gave us a laptop. It was touchscreen as well, but I mean I never used the touchscreen
A
because like it was
touchscreen
pointless.
laptop?
Um,
Bougie.
yeah, they gave us a laptop to use. But yeah, so my average day in the office is I came in around like 9 or 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
I just came in, like checked my emails, see what was going on, like if there was, because at the end of the day, like I was an intern, like
yeah,
I did have to do some intern-esque tasks.
yeah. Not
S
like what you get paid for.
Yeah. Um, but an average day, yeah. So I would come in, check my emails, then usually my manager would meet with me very briefly just to give me any tasks that may need to be done or any. So I worked in the corporate partnership department, which has so any in-game advertising or promotions that happen during the game. That's kind of where I get involved. I helped with a lot of prospecting as
Would you
well.
just look at like contracts and stuff?
Yeah, so there was one task that I had to do where I had to look up contracts, and basically like break them down to a T.
Yeah.
So like when I had to prospect different industries,
Mhm.
I would have to break down like company name, description of the company, like maybe what their morals are, and then whether if they're like business to business, like if they're selling to a
But did you
business.
like that more than game days or no? It was not.
They both had their pros and cons because honestly, I'd probably say I enjoyed working games more
Mhm.
than
I feel
in
like
the
game days
office.
would be so fun work.
Yeah. There was only one task that I really didn't enjoy working games, and it was
Did you ever have to go on the Zamboni?
I never went on the Zamboni,
I always
but
wanted to do
oh,
that.
the scariest. Okay, so the scariest. Okay, I'll give you an example of like one or a few tasks that I would have to do. Um, so during the games, I would have to do a lot of like activation process.
Mhm.
So the Penguins are partnered with Caliente Pizza. So what we would do
What's
is
that?
it's just a pizza place. Remember we got it when you came and visited me in Pittsburgh? Caliente Pizza?
Were we sober?
I think so. Yeah. I said, oh, it's really good pizza, and then you said, oh, this tastes like Papa John's. I remember this. But back to what I was saying.
Burn.
um, so the probably the scariest part of my job was so we would put this Caliente pizza box together. You put a gift card and like a Caliente keychain in it,
Mhm.
and then you put a parachute on it, and we would have to make like 50 or so of those, and we would have to go up to the skywalk, which is like the very top
That seems
of the
scary. I
arena
don't like
where
that.
you like just walk around. Maybe if you're able to, I can like show you a video of an idea and that you can show your audience of like what it looks like
Show
being
my
up there.
audience.
And when at first it was obviously really scary,
Mhm.
but the worst is when like say you were up there and they would go through all their like pregame like technical stuff to make sure everything is running smoothly, and like the lights would just immediately turn out and then you just hear loud noise while you're like reaching over to put the Caliente parachute
Oh,
like
that's
on
so
like this
scary.
pole. Like that was like one of the scariest tests I had to do.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But overall, did you enjoy, like, did you learn a lot being in this internship and stuff?
Yeah, I think.
Especially being in a new city, I know you weren't, like, a huge fan of Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I
Sorry
was.
to the Pittsburgh people out there.
Yeah. No. Don't get it twisted though. The people I've really enjoyed the Penguins organization and the people I worked with.
Yeah.
Everyone was so helpful there. Like if it's definitely a place I recommend someone to work. Because it is really good people. It's a great work environment. But the city though in general, I wasn't that big of a fan of.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it wasn't really
I
my
feel like,
city.
yeah, I
guess.
feel like visiting him, like we went to Atlanta together, then we went to Pittsburgh now. I feel like now I can kind of see what cities I don't do not like. It's not like I don't like Pittsburgh. I just think it's
because
just
when
too,
you did
like,
come, we did have like a good
we
time.
had a good time.
Yeah.
I liked Atlanta better
Yeah.
after the fact I got robbed, but
Yeah.
it's a story for another
Either
day.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, that was just like one of the tests I would have to do. Then yeah, I would take the Zamboni riders down.
that's so
to
fun.
Yeah, going on the Zamboni, and you would give them like a brief tour as you're walking to the Zamboni, so that was pretty cool. My least favorite task though, working was doing the so if at the arena, there's this F&B zone,
What's
like this
that?
fan zone.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
basically like this LED board, and it's like you shoot hockey pucks. And it was just like I didn't mind talking to the people that were doing it and stuff, but it was the fact of like you had to
Yawned,
keep
sorry.
going and retrieving the hockey pucks and stuff. Like
Oh, that's a pain in the ass.
like there'd be like 9 to 10 pucks you'd have to get every time, and then especially if like there's these long lines that happen,
Yeah.
that's when it could get really annoying.
Well, that was fun. I mean, I'm glad you got an experience, like I was just here in College Town working. That was
Yeah.
well, Ryan was there. But now Ryan's back, he's graduating.
Yeah.
I feel like it's sad because like I am really sad that you're leaving, but also I'm really happy that you get to experience something out there because hey, like you're gonna tell me how the real world is after
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the real world.
Oh,
Hopefully
I
BS with Bella
graduated
is the
in 2
real
weeks, and
world.
I'm scared as hell.
Yeah.
Like,
Graduation. All my friends graduate, and I gave my friends all their graduation gifts, and we were crying in the corner. But it's okay.
oh my gosh.
Not the dramatics here. I feel like, okay, so since me and Ryan are so healthy, I feel like we need to talk about our takes on things. Like, I want to ask. I think girls take the talking stage, analyze every detail, than boys.
Yeah. I mean that's fair at the end of the day, especially
Or
like
do guys analyze the talking stage a lot, or they don't?
I think I think okay, so I think it really depends, right? Because like I wouldn't go like I feel like I had certain boys that I would go to about
For
like
certain things.
yeah, like I'm not gonna go and like spill and every little detail, but like to like some of my certain friends that I feel like I would be able to get good advice to, I would tell them about like the situation about and like how I truly felt
Yeah.
about the situation.
I feel like also we did long distance, and honestly, the one thing advice I have to people who are listening is just communication. Make sure you talk, make sure you text. Like I would tell him like, "Hey, I'm at work," or "He's at work and I'm at school." Like I just feel like we survived long distance, even though it wasn't that long, and we did see each other like once or twice throughout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
once or twice
twice.
throughout the entire months of doing it. Next year's just probably gonna be the same thing, and like we know we're pretty healthy enough, and I feel like that's my biggest advice to people is just communicate and trust. And if you
Yeah.
honestly don't feel like you can trust someone, don't be with them. But like
Yeah.
we've been dating for so long that like I feel like I can trust him. Like,
Yeah. No, I want to.
I get him if you did anything.
I want to emphasize on like the trust issues because I feel like some people definitely like maybe in some cases it's understandably so like that you may have trust issues, but like at the end of the day, if you already are worrying about them doing something,
You shouldn't be
you
with
shouldn't
them.
be. Yeah, you shouldn't. And then that's a red flag as it is. Like you shouldn't be in
You
that
shouldn't be with them.
relationship. So yeah, I think like trust your partner. Like I have no worries.
Trust
like,
your partner.
yeah, no, like, like especially like when you're here and like I'm in the real world, and like you go to like parties and stuff, or if you go to a tailgate, like
I'm gonna shake my
I'm not gonna.
butt.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna shake my butt by myself.
yeah.
You
There we
know.
go. But no, we're gonna yeah, like I trust you. Like I'm not
Yeah.
really worried at all. If I'm being honest, like I don't really have any worries. Um,
Because
and
I'm
yeah.
just so awesome and like there's just nothing you could replace me with. I feel like also, I'm like, I feel like with guys like when they have issues with people, like they just box and it's fine. And I feel like with girls, it's just so much shit talking.
Yeah,
Especially with like
it's weird. It's weird. Like, nah, I don't want to say like boxing, but like sometimes
slap
when
box.
like when push comes to shove, like maybe you'll go and like you'll just start either like maybe it leads to like punching or maybe it's just like
Maybe at least
wrestling
one.
or some shit. But it's like after you, I don't know, like my perspective with that is like, all right, let's say like you and your friend, like me and one of my friends has like a disagreement and we started like wrestling or something, like even though I'm not that guy, like I'm not
I'm
that
not
guy.
that guy.
But like
You are not
I think
him.
after the
You are
fact like
not
you
him.
wrestle someone or you get into a heated altercation with them, you kind of realize like, oh, you know what? Like it's probably not that deep. And then either one or the other goes up and it's like, yo, like it's
You are
like
not
I want to
him. You are
apologize,
not
like
him.
blah blah blah. Like I realized that like
Ryan's like
I was wrong.
fathering the podcast right now.
Yeah, I guess so. Guess so. I'm so old.
He's so
Yeah,
old.
I turn 22 next week,
22.
which is crazy.
Can you do some for me?
21, but
I know I changed the lyrics on purpose. Duh, did you not catch that?
oh, haha,
Oh,
that was hilarious.
I like I really want an internship like where it's very like hands on. I'm kind of jealous that you swing, but I feel like if you had to tell people like one advice about your taking an internship like off campus, what would you tell them?
Like especially being far away.
I feel like you struggled a little bit.
Yeah, no, I definitely struggled because I was I like I if I'm being honest, I would
We're jumping
like
around on this podcast.
yeah,
Topic.
yeah.
This is how our brain works.
On like Fridays and Saturdays and stuff, like you see all your friends like having fun, going out to the bars together, and then like I'm just in my room by myself most of the time. But luckily, like I did have my roommates there at Pittsburgh who were I really did enjoy them, but one of them already graduated and he was trying to find jobs and he was busy, and then the other one was an engineer major and he has a huge project that he had to do, so he was always really busy. So yeah, I'd say the biggest thing, especially if you're going to a city where you really don't know anyone, you really just have to like mentally prepare yourself. Be like, hey, you know what? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be by myself for a
Like,
decent amount of time,
yeah.
but like at
I
the end of the
always
day, like
told
if
him
you
to.
just like mentally check yourself with that, like I'm gonna be by myself, but like I'll be okay because you already know that you're
And
gonna
like pick up
be
a
okay.
hobby. Like
Yeah.
when he was struggling, I would always say like pick up a hobby. Like go to the gym, go to Starbucks and do homework, and just sit there or just listen to music, have a cup of coffee. I feel like if you pick a hobby, you won't feel alone in a city. I mean, I'm Ryan. I feel like I'm more independent, and Ryan, I feel like you're not as independent like as I am in some
Yeah, and
instance.
yeah,
Like when I'm bored here, like I'll go walk around Marshalls. I don't have to buy anything. I just like walking around, or like I'll go like walk on campus and get a Starbucks, or like things like that. Like I feel like I'm more independent to fix my problems, and I feel like sometimes you just like get into these like holes where you're like, well, I got nothing to do. I don't know what to do. Blah blah blah. But then once you figure out what you want to do, then it's a lot easier.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely fair. I mean,
And
it was, yeah, like it was. It's also
but
like,
you had such a cool experience.
yeah,
Like his Snapchats on game day, like that's so awesome. And then I gave my boss a job that loves the Pittsburgh Penguins and gave him stuff, and he was like, "Oh my god!" But like,
yeah,
you had a great experience. Like a lot of people like would wish to be in your shoes. Tbh.
yeah. I'll
Me.
send you some pictures as well for you to show them. But one thing that was also
That's a
really
lot of
cool.
editing.
One thing that was also really cool about the job was meeting some of the players.
Oh my god.
So there was this one
Should we get him on the
experience.
pod?
Yeah, I wish. But so one of so there was two different instances that I had where I was able to meet a few of the players. So one of the tasks that I was
Big
able to do
ring.
during like an office day. So we have like our arena. It's called PPG Paints Arena, and then we also have our training facility,
Mm-hmm.
and
Who was the
they
best player you met?
Sidney Crosby. Sidney
Wow.
Crosby.
I
Yeah.
don't know hockey like that.
Yeah. So there was this one task that I was put to do, and it was this thing called junior report. So they basically
Ooh.
had little kids go in and ask the players questions.
That's so
Yeah, and it's
cute.
actually really smart as well because, like, I feel like the players when they realize that a kid is
Doing
interviewing
it?
them, they're willing to give more of an answer versus
Really?
yeah,
Than the press?
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
that makes sense. Like, what is the kid
Um,
really gonna do with the information?
yeah, so
I mean, post it on
great example
TikTok.
of that is one player on the Penguins. His name is Brian Dumoulin, and I remember.
You could keep going. The
Okay,
camera does this sometimes.
okay. He so they did like a sit down interview with Brian Dumoulin and the kid, and he was giving like really long answers. And at the end of it, I remember one of the production people was like, "That was the longest answers he's ever given," and I was like, "Wow, really?" So yeah, I was given the task to like take pictures and follow them around because I guess they were going to use them for social media and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really cool just meeting all these players. I got to get right next up to like Jake Gensel, Chris Letang, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and then there was another instance where they had an autograph signing day, and basically they sign a shit ton of like pucks, hockey gloves, jerseys, photos, pucks, and whatever. And they do all this for different partners and stuff. And I was able to meet a bunch of the players because I had to go and like check them in, and they all had to like sign these different items during this signing, and that's when I realized that of how nice of NHL players are. Now maybe it's not every NHL team, but the players on the Penguins were really nice, especially Sidney Crosby. Like I was just like this no name intern, and he's Sidney
And he
Crosby,
gave you the time
and
of
he
day.
gave me the time of day. Like he wasn't, too big for the show or too big for anything. So yeah, I was.
Well, that's
It was
nice,
it was really neat.
that people gave you the time of day. Also, this YouTube video will be half cut because my camera decided to die when it was fully charged. So
Right.
there's that. So yeah, but that's really cool. I feel like, especially meeting like a famous NHL player, like I would be like, hey, you want to come on the pod? I mean, I did that to
You'd have to go through their agent.
yeah, I have DM people about coming on the pod, and they've been like, oh, well, I charge this or I charge that. I'm like, well, I'm poor, so can we just have a fun time and chit chat? Some people are willing. I mean, the nicest celebrity that I've met was probably Channing Tatum
Oh
because
yeah,
he,
you met him when
because
you were on vacation
yeah,
or
because
whatever.
he gave me the time of day.
That's actually crazy.
Jason Pierre-Paul, by the way, that little mofo. Right after the Giants won the Super Bowl, I will never forget this. I was with my friend me and Jillian, and we were wearing our little jerseys around the mall, and we're like, oh my god, like imagine we see like a famous Rocky looks so cute, a famous Giants player right now, and we did. Jason Pierre-Paul coming right out of Gucci. This man, we run to him. We're wearing Jason Pierre-Paul jerseys, just so you know. Imagine that. Jason! My little 10-year-old self. What does this man do? Literally turn his body the other way to these teenage girls. And we were like, and like,
Um,
my friend Mia's mom, like, went up to him and was like, oh my god, these girls, like, can we take a picture? Can we take a picture with you? No, no, no. Back up, back up. We were so upset. I remember that so vividly because I've never seen a celebrity turn down kids. Kids!
yeah, I mean, I thought you were gonna say like he just turned around and walked away because I was gonna say like I understand like even though it is kind of mean, I do understand like I try to understand their perspective of like you probably have so many people coming up to you every day like think about like say Jason Pierre-Paul just wanted to go and grab a cup of coffee. He's
Yeah.
probably while he's going to grab his cup of coffee, it's probably gonna take like
Well, I want to be
I don't
famous
know.
like
He's
that.
gonna probably have to take like 4 to 5 pictures, like 7 to 8 people stopping him and like saying, even though it's probably mostly nice things that they're saying to him, it's
Yeah.
just a fact. Like you're just trying to get a cup of coffee and you have to get stopped by multiple people.
Yeah, but he's in the biggest mall in New Jersey almost. I mean,
Yeah, I
up
mean,
north.
yeah, that's a fair argument. Like, you're kind of asking for that.
You walked out of Gucci
Yeah.
with teenage girls next to you. What do you mean? I
Yeah.
seriously can't. I seriously can't.
Yeah.
I want to be famous, but I mean, I don't really want to be famous, but maybe I want to. I don't
Just
know.
famous enough.
Famous enough. That's a
Yeah.
good way to put it. Famous.
Yeah.
Famous enough. Can you pass me that camera battery? See if it's somewhat charged. To do a nice little outro for these people.
Is that yellow?
I mean, it is yellow, but we're just gonna film her quickly. The struggles of not having a really good camera. I bought this baby on Facebook Marketplace, and she's held up like, whoa, she's held up pretty good. She was my big purchase, and she was like, by the girl I bought it from, she was like, oh my god, like, this is so good, like, it works so well, da-da-da. See, look, 3 bars, and it was in there for 5 minutes. This camera battery just absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
It does suck. It seriously sucks. But that's all we have for BS with Bella, so tune in next week, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Of
Thank you for letting
course,
me
of
on.
course, of course.
This is off the bucket list. I'm glad I was able to be, the relief pitcher. And yeah, thank you.
Of course. Well, we'll see you guys next week with my episode with my brother, so tune in. Bye.